We'll keep an eye. All right, now to the Browns, guys. So we're going to do – we will know the full schedule, when the games are being played and everything tomorrow night. But – although there'll probably be some leaks during the day tomorrow. But for now, we don't know when any of the Browns games are since they're not playing on the international slate. So we are going to do a draft, pick what we think are the most interesting matchups for the Browns. We all have whatever definition we want. There's no set of definitions here.
Interesting is the word. And just so everyone knows.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say, Bull, you pick the Bengals in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
The Bengals in Cleveland is also an option. Just so everyone knows.
Okay.
It could be any team, but for the division teams, home and road makes a difference.
The draft order is Dustin, Zach, me, and then me, Zach, Dustin, and then me, Zach, Dustin
so
again.
You better choose wisely, Dustin.
I got pick for a while.
Backup picks too.
All right, go ahead, Dustin. You're up first.
All right, pick one is Steelers at Browns.
Why is that the most interesting?
Well, number one, there's quarterback drama with both teams.
True.
You know, we don't know who the quarterback is in Cleveland. We don't know who the quarterback is in Pittsburgh as of now. Myles Garrett, obviously, loves – that's a great rivalry between him and whoever's the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then you also just have the rivalry in general, and then you put it in Cleveland. I think that would be, to me, the number one overall pick.
All right, so the Browns hosting the Steelers is the most interesting game. That goes first to Dustin. You got the second pick, Zach.
Yeah, that's a very Cleveland-centric pick, very historic pick.
Yeah.
I'm going to go a little more recent history, and this would have been my easy number one. Browns at Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Baker Mayfield versus whomever the quarterback is.
Yeah.
Right, he's only played him once, and that was immediately when the Browns moved on from him.
Right.
Took Baker a while to find his footing. This is a huge year for Baker Mayfield, whose contract expires. The Bucs took a chance on him. It's worked to an extent. I think they found out that he's a guy that'll never win you a Super Bowl. But, we'll see.
But they don't ever win anything.
They don't ever win anything. But they've had a great run.
Yeah.
They're probably a team in a little bit of transition. They watched Mike Evans walk away after many, many years. And I just think that is a game, if I'm a Monday night or a Thursday night watcher, I think it has national appeal. It certainly has the local appeal. And it could be a really good football game because you have a Tampa Bay offense that when it's rolling is good against the Cleveland defense, it's really good. And I think that's the easy number one to me.
All right, I'm happy with my pick at 3 because I think my pick was number 1, and that's the Browns hosting the Falcons. The fan base has decided, a lot of people, especially the Shadorians, have decided that the Browns quarterbacks all sucked for the last bunch of years because of Kevin Stefanski. That's the only reason the quarterback sucked. That's why Shador sucked. That's why Deshaun Watson sucked. That's why everybody sucked.
Right.
Except for Jacoby Brissett and Baker Mayfield for a moment. But and if the Browns have a much better offensive season, it will only have to do with the fact that it's a better coach and nothing else.
Yeah.
So, and plus that game's at home, unlike the Tampa Bay game. That would have been my second pick. Certainly all the games are interesting, but even though Baker overall, I think fans, it's been a longer story, but immediacy, Kevin Stefanski just got fired. Now he's coming back immediately a year later. So I'll take that game. Now I will follow it up. To me now at this point it becomes trickier where you go. But I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens in Cleveland as my next choice. And that's because, at least going into the season, the Ravens are the favorites to win the division. And the Browns, I guess, have played. Now they've done better against the Ravens a little bit in recent years, but overall, they've done the worst against the Ravens. Where the Browns have played well against the Steelers at home, and they've played well against the Bengals at home, but the Ravens is a little bit more up and down. And I think Lamar Jackson's always intriguing. There was the connection where were the Ravens going to draft Shador, especially if Shador is playing. We know Deshaun Watson played well against Baltimore, one of the few games he's actually played well. So I'm going to go with that as my round 2 choice, Ravens at the Browns.
That makes sense, and that was on my short list. I mean, I think even some of the most lunatics on this show, the craziest level of lunatic that think the Browns are going to be good. Like, if you're going to win X amount of games, you got to win your home division.
That's right.
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose Browns at New Orleans Saints. And again, we're going to go to quarterback, the most important position in sports. Yeah. A year ago, the Browns knew they were on a quarterback search, and they went for miles and miles and months of searching. And when it came down to it, they didn't even send their GM and head coach to work out Tyler Shuck. They said, we're not interested.
Yeah.
They ended up with Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
Is that your Kawhi laugh?
Well,
That was a good laugh.
Tyler Shuck looks like he can play a little bit. And
He
we'll
does.
see. He's older. It's a small sample size. But like the Saints now feel like they're ahead of schedule because they feel like they might have landed on a quarterback with pick 40. The Browns are still on this perpetual quarterback cycle.
Yeah.
So again, if the Browns are going to have a good team and their defense is this good, this is a game you can steal. You go down to New Orleans. It's loud. It's a tough environment, but it's not a team that's top-level talent. So you could steal that game.
All right.
Or
Yeah.
if the Browns are going to be in a spiral and in the never-ending quarterback carousel, you're going to look and say, wait, we could have had Tyler
It would have
Shuck.
been interesting.
So we'll see. That's a really interesting game to me.
Dustin.
All right, pick 6 to me is going to be Browns at Ravens. This is a division game. It's a measuring stick game. We're going to find out like how good our defense really is. You're going into Baltimore. You're facing Lamar Jackson and that offense, and obviously Todd Monken returning to Baltimore. So I think that's got some intrigue for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that when I mentioned the first meeting. I know it's here, but all right. I'll start the third round. I'm going to take the Browns again, a home game. I'm going to take them hosting the Bengals. Obviously, the Browns have, under Kevin Stefanski, did, for the most part, a good job against the Bengals. Even the games the Bengals won, Joe Burrow has played his worst football against the Browns. Outside of one or two games, one of them was a loss, that wild game between Baker and Burrow, which was a huge high-scoring game. But for the most part, Joe Burrow doesn't look like the same player playing against the Browns against Kevin Stefanski. Will it be the same with a new head coach and Todd Monken and a new defensive coordinator? We shall see. So I'll say that is my third most.
Browns, Bengals home.
Browns, Bengals in Cleveland. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Who's up, Mike? Is Bull up again? Or is it me?
No, I'm done now.
No, Zach, you're up.
You're up, and then Dustin wrap it up.
Yeah. Then I will take Browns at Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Because the Browns won that playoff game in Pittsburgh 5 years ago. We all remember that in an empty stadium. Other than that, the Browns have not won a regular season game in the artist formerly known as Heinz Field since 2003.
That's insane. That's insane.
2003. And if a measuring stick along the way, are the Browns back? Can you go to Pittsburgh and win?
Yeah.
I think there's a real possibility that this division is a bunch of teams that beat each other up, and that maybe 10 wins does win it. I'll agree with Tyvis on that.
Yeah.
I think that's a real possibility. But if the Browns are going to show real growth and jump up out of fourth place, one thing you can do is win in Pittsburgh and announce yourself.
By the way, Tyvis, Anthony, and McNuggets all were in grade school the last time the Browns won a regular season game in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I don't even know if Tyvis was
I was 10. Tyvis was 10.
Yeah.
Tyvis and Mike were 10, and Anthony's younger than you guys, right?
Yeah, Anthony would
like
have
8.
been...
That was a Sunday night game, speaking of scheduling.
Oh, so maybe your parents let you stay up, guys.
Yeah, it was a schedule, because that was coming off the playoffs, and the Browns won.
Ant was in kindergarten.
And Dustin was in college.
What year is this?
2003.
Yeah, I was a junior.
Yeah. I worked for the Browns then. I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin, your last pick. And then we're going to open the vote in the YouTube chat. We'll let it go for a few minutes, and we'll give you the results after the break.
Okay, last
Dustin,
pick.
your last pick.
All right, so what's the closest thing to the AFC North? The NFC North and the Chicago Bears on the road. I'll take the Browns at the Bears. They're obviously a talented team. Caleb making that leap. I think it's going to be a test for the Browns defense. I'm guessing this game will be, I don't know if it's going to be in September, October, or whatever, but I'm picturing like a December game in Soldier Field, and there's snow, and it's natural grass, and it's like an old school kind of battle. That's what I think of when I think of this matchup.
So to recap, Dustin's 3 picks: the Steelers at the Browns at the Ravens, and then the Browns at Chicago. 3 historic matchups. Zach has Cleveland taking on Tampa and Baker Mayfield down in Florida. Cleveland traveling to New Orleans to take on Tyler Shuck and the Saints. And then Cleveland traveling to Pittsburgh to try and win their first regular season game in Pittsburgh since Anthony was in kindergarten. And Ball, you have the Falcons and Kevin Stefanski visiting the Browns. Todd Monken hosting his former employer in the Baltimore Ravens. And to nobody's surprise, the Bengals coming to Cleveland at some point. 9 of the 17 games. The poll is open. Vote, and we'll give you guys the results.
What are the least interesting matchups? I'll give you the contenders, at least the contenders in my opinion. The Panthers at home
The Raiders at home.
Although they'll have Mendoza, so that's a little interesting,
Yeah.
though. The Titans on the road, the Giants on the road, the Jets on the road. What's the least interesting?
Yeah.
The Giants, you have the Harbaugh Monken. They
Yeah, I
wanted to
guess
hire
so.
him as the OC. The Jackson Dart factor.
The Jets, if that's late in the season, could be the first pick in the draft poll for a quarterback.
Could be really interesting.
By the way, speaking of quarterbacks, I'm going to give you guys 5 quarterbacks right now, real quick. You tell me you're starting a team from scratch, not like on their current team. Starting a team from scratch. Forget contracts, although I think these guys are all on rookie contracts. 5 quarterbacks. In which order are you taking them? Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, Jackson Dart, Cam Ward.
So 6.
6.
You have
sorry.
6 there,
I'm
Bull.
adding a 6.
It's hard.
I'm going to take Caleb first.
Caleb first. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's super. I think a lot of those guys are super talented. But
Yeah.
I think Caleb found himself the right system and has a chance to really
Okay.
ascend.
I really like his mental approach and his maturity level since I've seen him be in the NFL too. I agree with you.
Okay.
I mean, I worry about Daniel staying healthy. He's electric
Yeah.
when he does. He and Drake May both get incompletes. Drake May has obviously made a Super Bowl here
Yeah.
early in his career, probably ahead of schedule. So I will go Daniels 2. I will go May 3. I mean, I really like Cam Ward. I understand that it's not a great start.
Right.
I think he's got a chance. I like his makeup.
Yeah.
I worry about Dart staying healthy.
Okay.
You
So who goes for Nix, Cam Ward, or
I'm going to put Nick's
Dart?
last, and
Nick's
he
last.
has a level of accomplishment in this
Yeah.
league. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to take it away, but based on talent, to me, he's clearly the 6th.
Okay. So Dart, Cam Ward, then Dart, then
Yeah,
or no?
I'll put Cam Ward ahead.
All right, Dustin.
I mean, I said Caleb. I'd do Caleb. I'd actually take Nick's probably second because of what he's accomplished, and I think that maybe he's not as talented as some of his other players, but that system's working for him, and I think he's shown a level of maturity. Guy played like 19 years of college football.
He sure did.
And it shows. He's very confident. He made some big time plays in the playoffs this past year too, against my Buffalo Bills. So I remember that. And then who would I take 3?
Daniels or Drake May or
Drake May. Drake May. I'd take May 3.
And then 4?
Uh,
Daniels, Dart, Ward.
Daniels.
And then Dart or Ward?
Dart Ward.
Dart Ward. Mike, go ahead.
I take Caleb, May, Daniels, Ward, Dart, Nix. I'm just out on Bo Nix. I can't. I'm gonna just die in that hill. I'll be wrong. I'm just gonna die in that hill.
Yeah.
I think I'm torn because I still think Jaden Daniels is the best player, but I am worried about the injury. But I'm going to take him slightly over Caleb Williams, who I got 2.
Bet against Bo Nix one time, and you'd be picking him number 2.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to take. I'm going to take Drake May 3, Bo Nix 4, Cam Ward 5, Dart 6.
Yeah, I would say the lesson here and the reminder to Browns fans and Browns observers is nobody thinks Bo Nix on talent or physical skills in any way is
Yeah.
in the same league as these guys, right? But Sean Payton picked him out
Yeah.
because he said, I want to do this, this, and this. And
Yeah.
this guy came in and processed it and learned
Yeah.
it. And where he is in relation to his ceiling, I don't know. But you can get it right and win a lot of games. It doesn't have to be that blue chip quarterback that falls out of the sky to you or that blue chip quarterback that you trade the farm for and then he embarrasses you for 5 straight years.
Right.
It has to be the coach saying this is what we want. Finding that player, the front office and the coach, and then make it work for
the
them.
right fit.
This is why Todd Monken needs to find his guy.
That's right.
Absolutely. We talked about quarterbacks. When we come back, we'll talk about offensive line. Mike Clay of ESPN recently ranked all the offensive lines, and where the Browns ended up might surprise you, or might not. That's next on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.